All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the Akim that's out there laboring, that's out the hopeful elect, that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much we're truly in the last days. And this place is getting more and more perverse as this place pretty much meets its judgment. And when you're going out and about, when you're Clark Kent, personal testimony, I'm at work and I deal with pretty much public service. And the spirit that's going on here in New York City is the spirit of Sodom. And they have this the Pride parade, which is coming up this weekend, and this is where people converge on the city, and these people pretty much show a very perverse display of uncleanness in public, and it's gotten worse and worse over the years. It used to be Pride Week. Now it's extended to pretty much Pride Month. Okay, so now you have the whole alphabet community, okay, that's pretty much out and about, and they're starting their reveling today, which is Friday, and pretty much, they continue on throughout the weekend, and it's nothing but pure perverseness that you see. When you want to talk about okay, the different alphabets, these people are into every and anything under the sun. You have couples that are into kink and queer stuff, that pretty much converge and take part in the parade. And it's a parade which takes place pretty much in the downtown area, and it goes down to pretty much where this whole thing started, which was at a bar pretty much down in the village, in the East Village section of West Village section of New York City. And when you looking at these different spirits, you're seeing how there's no shame to these people, man. You've got people that's pretty much showing out, and as pretty much once nightfall comes, pretty much anything goes, and there's always been reports of perverse acts being taking place in the alleys, and pretty much behind parked cars. There's a lot of wickedness that's going on, and pretty much the tribes are a large driving force that partakes in this whole thing. Okay, you see Esau Edom out there, and they're always into that, and this is what they do, but our people pretty much take the cake, man. They pretty much are over the top. You have people that have this very flamboyant spirit on them, which is demons, man. All right, and like I said, judgment is coming. We see it, man. We see it. But like this, it cannot get any more wicked than what I have witnessed. You're already seeing that these people, the spirit is on the left hand side. You're seeing the straight demons on these people, man. All right, and pretty much, this is a type of thing where you want to kind of stay away from, because it's really not for the weak, so to speak. If you to pretty much witness a lot of these things that are going on, and it's and it's everything that goes. It's almost like a full on outside orgy party, which is what they have, you know. And pretty much, over the years, you all heard stories about what happened and what they witnessed this, and you have people that pretty much post things on social media, on of sex acts and just different perverse things, and these people pretty much are taking pride in that, man, But pretty much, I wanna start with a scripture real quick. This is let's go to Isaiah real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. And pretty much, man, the northern and southern kingdom, man, are pretty much are heavy partakers in this weekend-long festival, or what you want to have, or gathering, or what you have. And you have people that come in from all over the country that pretty much converge on this, and this is pretty much the biggest parade, one of the biggest parades in the country, which will be taking place in a couple of days. But this is a full, all out, just riding in the daytime ordeal, man. Okay, just straight, pure and uncensored wickedness, man. That's done out in the open, out in public, man. And it's pretty much it's encouraged. You see, it's almost like a competition of who can outdo who on different acts, Okay, and Jake pretty much takes the cake, man. Speaking about you Negroes and Latinos, man, and Native Americans, man. Okay, you see, right? Verse 9. The show of their countenance do a witness against them, and they declare their sin at Sodom. They hide it not, and they don't hide it, man. They're very flamboyant with what they are, and pretty much, E has pretty much gave them a full-on license to, pretty much do whatever it is that they want to do, man. Okay, burning their lust, and this is a lifestyle that's of dangerous proportions, man. Okay, all right. When you talk about health wise, and really pretty much going against the Lord, Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because these are the things that we ought not to do. You see. But our people, okay, you see it in their face, man. They have this trans about them, man. Okay, and the whole countenance of them, okay. You can tell, they have done just abominable things, man. Okay, but they declare their sin as it, man. They don't hide it, right? It says, "Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves," man. And they do it with pride. They do it with pride. All right. It says, "Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings." And pretty much, man, the righteous man, pretty much, man, is going to eat the fruit of his own doings, man, because we see it, we call it out, we pretty much recognize it as wickedness. All right. We pretty much are proclaiming these things to the people, man. That this is not conducive to your health, nor to the laws of the Most High, man. Okay, you see, all right. But it says, "Woe unto the wicked! It shall be ill with him, for the rewards of his hands shall be given him." Okay, and pretty much, man, this is gonna be the ultimate destruction, man, of our people, man. Okay, you see, all right, because you're seeing more and more people now partaking in it. People that would appear, and it doesn't even have to be a straight mode. The alphabet gets more and more bigger, and they're including more and more people. Okay, you can have people that appear, what you would probably see in passing, normal, just regular people, But when you're using the spiritual discernment, you're seeing that they are have some type of part in this whole festivities that's going on. You see, okay? You know, they are pretty much are added on to this alphabet, man, which is getting bigger and bigger. They keep on adding letters to it, okay? And there's new meanings to it, and there's people that is into these perverse things, man. Okay, you know, including the bestiality, man. Okay, you see, all right. But it says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them." You know, and we're dealing with a failed generation, man. Okay, all right. The mothers, pretty much, of the I want to say Generation X, pretty much was the last was of the last of the generation to pretty much do the nation in, okay, because they pretty much do not rule their household, man. All right, because the households are pretty much totally destroyed. The man is not in the household. The women are pretty much running the household, and they can't get a grip on things. Okay, he is just pretty much shoving things down their throat through the food system. Okay, all right, through media, television, okay, music industry, and pretty much Dick is eating it up, man. Okay, and the children are at an all-time wickedness, man. You know, and the women, they pretty much are still trying to get their groove on, because they are pretty much raising children, unruly children in a broken home. But they trying to be out there still and try to seek love, and on top of that, they're not on top of the children that pretty much keep the household in order. Plus, a woman cannot raise a man by solely on their own, man. You know, there's situations where, you know, exceptions to the rule, of course, but as a whole, as a nation, no, a woman cannot contain raising sons, man. Okay, you see, that's why the man is needed. Okay, all right, and he pretty much knows that, and he pretty much has you know, been behind the scenes, man, to destroy the household, man. And we've seen where our people are to this day, man. You know, these type of things used to be very taboo, man. You know, it would happen, you know, but it was very taboo, and it was very shameful, man. But this not right now. These acts, man, are pretty much are widely accepted. Okay, nobody has anything to say about it. You know, the church pretty much accepts it. You know, the church has that whole you know, feminine spirit that's in there. You know, all right, and nobody has anything to say about it, man. Because they're not going to check the women, because the women are the ones that are the biggest donors, man. All right, the women are the ones with the good jobs, man. And a lot of them, pretty much, man, are very you know, gullible. You know, all right. You know, a man can just come in with a 3-piece suit on, tailored, and say some nonsense. You know, what they would think that is sweet words. You know. And pretty much, man, you know, the woman would give all that they have, man. Okay, you see, all right. From there, let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's get one of the laws, man. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. Right. The women shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination to the Lord power, man. You know, and that's pretty much now you're having this whole thing now, which is the other big thing now, is the whole trans thing now, man. And you're seeing them out in full display, pretty much walking down the street, and you're seeing the opposite sex wearing the opposite sex clothing. Okay, you see, these people are confused. You know, they pretty much are you know, they are totally bought in to the, you know, to the philosophy of E, you know, and to, you know, pretty much, you know, they have been programmed, man. You know, when you talk about this younger generation, there's a lot of these people that are out there that are pretty much younger ages, man. You know, you have them that's in their 20s, 30s. You see the older ones out there, you know, but the younger ones now are fully programmed into this type of lifestyle, man. Okay, You see? All right? And this is a whole thing. This thing is widespread, man, with the whole trans thing, man. Okay? It's widespread throughout the city, man. You know? All right? And pretty much, man, these things are being displayed in broad daylight, man. It's not in the shadows of the night or anything like that, man. This is in broad daylight, and hey, there's people that are of all ages, man, that can be witnesses of these things, man. Okay, and it's not any secret. All right, it's not anything to withhold from them, man. Because they have license to do it, man. Okay, they have pretty much laws set to protect them, man, and really nobody can really say anything about anything that they're doing. You see? Okay, the only thing that they're really concerned about is if there's the cops concerning the cops, is if there's any pretty much any fighting breaking out. They're not gonna give them a citation for indecent exposure, because this is all part of this whole lifestyle, man. Okay, you see? All right. We had a man walking down the street with a captain's hat on, with a straight G-string and some type of halter top, man, walking down the street. Okay, and this is widely accepted in the area where this parade actually is going to take place, man. But this is the area where they pretty much are converge on and hang out at, man. Okay, and anything pretty much goes. You see? All right. From there, let's go to Romans real quick. Snag that. All right. Paul spoke about this, right? Romans 1. Okay. All right. Let's pick it up at the 18th verse. Unbelief and its consequences, man, because the main thing about these people is that they don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because they would pretty much take heed of the wickedness that they're doing. All right? There's no fear of the Lord, man. All right? And this is what the elites ultimately wanted for the tribes, man. Okay? This younger generation, there's no fear of the Lord, man. Okay? You see? Right? This is Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that when they have known of the Most High is manifest in them, for God has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. And then pretty much, man, we see it through the elect sees this, man. Okay? Us in this truth, we see it, man. The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. And you have people that pretty much are, and we've seen examples of this, man. I don't really want to get into it though, man, but you have guys that pretty much, these other camps, that pretty much partook in, abominable acts, man. Okay? That pretty much have came out, and the Lord exposed it. You see? Right? It says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. And that goes for our people too, All right. I mean, as far as people that grew up in so-called Christian church, and pretty much, man, the younger generation has shied away from that, man. You see? Okay? These people don't reverence the Most High, man. All right? You see? Right? Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like unto the corruptible man. Okay? That image that's been put up. Okay? The JC, that's been put up, and pretty much people are with the whole doctrine that goes along with it, man. Okay, they're all loving and all, accepting anything, man. This is what it has morphed itself into, man. Okay, you see that image? You see that's pretty much plastered in most Jake's houses. That's plastered in the church. There's a spirit that goes along with that, to where nothing is held accountable, man. That you do. You see? Okay? You know, our people would give somebody like Santa Claus more reverence than the Lord. You know? Okay? But they changed the glory of the Most High into a corruptible God, like to the image of a man, a corruptible man, right? And to birds and to four-footed beasts and creepy things, you know, and these idols and different things of what type of philosophy and religions that our people are into, man. Okay? You see? All right? It says, verse 24, wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Okay, so the Lord pretty much gave them over to this mindset to do these things, man. You know, okay, but it says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. You know, and pretty much, man, this is what this man has done. Okay, through his Christianity, you know, you pretty much have worshiped. First of all, turn the truth into a lie, okay, through this doctrine, okay, and pretty much, you know, you worship and serve the creature more than the actual Creator himself, man. You know, the image that's put up, you know, there's a doctrine that goes along with it. There's a certain type of lifestyle. There's a certain type of mindset that goes along with that JC image, man. That's embedded in the tribe's heads, man. You know, okay, but they reverence and serve that creature, okay, that corruptible man, okay, more than the Creator himself, man. Okay? All right? You see? Yahweh. All right? You see? But it says, for this cause the Most High gave them up until vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, man. Okay? You see? So the women have partaken in the same thing as the men. You know? Okay? But the Lord has given them up to a vile affections. You see? Okay? Right? And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly. Okay? And you trying to plug another man, that's something that's unseemly, man. Okay? It's not a natural act. You see? Okay? You know? Okay? Okay? And in receiving themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat, you know, and you know, a lot of the diseases come from that, and you know, pretty much, man, you know, this is why, you know, they have it now to where, you know, they got these you know, drugstore, they got these the pills and to protect you, trying to protect you from these type of things, and you know, but you got people out there that are pretty much are totally infected, man, you know, that are out there and putting themselves out there in the masses, man. Okay? You see? All right? You got a lot of down lows that are out there. Okay? You see? That still exist. You know? And you'll more than likely you'll see a lot of them that'll be there as spectators, you know, trying to see what they can get into. You know? And this day was a heavy spirit out here today, because you know, it's you know, it's of course it's a weekend, though, but it just has that feeling of like a so-called day before a holiday weekend, so to speak. That's the type of feeling that's out here, man. Okay, like something big is about to happen this weekend. You know, this is how the people are conducting themselves, man. They conduct themselves much more bigger and much more reckless than your everyday so-called Friday. Okay. You know, it has the feeling of the start of a holiday weekend, so to speak. Okay, that's the type of feeling that has been out here, man, and it's been a heavy spirit out here all day, man. You know, you see. All right, last verse. Even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, okay, they don't retain the Most High in their knowledge, man. They don't want to hear it. They have no delight in the word of the Lord. Okay? Because they feel like it doesn't profit them, man. You see? Okay? Right? So the Most High, right, gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And that's not a convenient thing to do, man. These acts that these people are doing, man. Okay? But their mind is in a reprobate state that they work in these things which are really unseemly, man. You know? You see? Okay? This is not a convenient thing. Okay? But they live to partake in it, man. In the act. Okay? You see? And and pretty much, man, we just gotta pretty much just pray the Lord comes back, man, and just renders judgment, man. All right. Again, this is only for the elect, man. Only elect is gonna pretty much gonna call these things out, man, and see things for what it is, man. Okay. There's a real heavy spirit out here, man. All right. But we're gonna go to Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12. Okay. All right. For the elect, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but much now more in my absence, to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. And when we're outside of the body, outside of the body of Yahweh Bashem Abishai, the brethren, we still have to pretty much work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, man. We got to walk in the ways, man, of being around the brotherhood and when we're away from the brotherhood, man, and continue to stay in the spirit, man, and continue to pretty much, use your spiritual discernment to make sure that you're not going off on anything, to pretty much, just recognize righteousness from wickedness, man. Okay. Because like sometimes people can go on and these are people that potentially are not of the elect. The lines get blurred. Okay, the lines get blurred between wickedness and righteousness, man, and that's proof that these people are pretty much are falling into that reprobate mindset, man. And this is what the Lord does when He takes the spirit away from you, man. He puts you in that reprobate mindset, man. People start going off on the scriptures. You start pretty much doing things in your Clark Kent state, okay, that's not conducive to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Abishai, man. Okay? So it's pretty much, for us to, it's essential for us to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, right? For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of His good pleasure, man. And we got a job to do, man. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world, man. And we shine as lights in the world, man, because this is the world of darkness that we're in, man. Okay, people have a very dark countenance about them. They're about to partake in great wickedness, man, this whole entire weekend, man. And this today is the day to kick it off, even though they celebrated all month. But this is the grand finale, so to speak. The whole month of June is Pride Month. But the grand finale is the last Sunday of the month, where they have the parade of parades. Okay? And this whole weekend will be nothing but a show of the abominable disdain, okay, that the Lord has for these people, man, and they're set for judgment, man. Okay, you see, but what we're supposed to be blameless and harmless, right, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, man. All right, generation and nation, man. Okay, you see, right? But yeah, that's the point right there, man. Right? But it says, right, last verse, holding forth the word of life, okay, these scriptures, that I may rejoice in the day of Hamashiach, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. And we have to firmly believe, man, that we're not laboring and running in vain, man. Okay? All right, we're doing a mighty work here, and we're pretty much are calling out the wickedness, man, in the world of darkness, man. All right, so I'm gonna end it there, and pretty much, hey, may the Lord just continue to render judgment throughout the earth, man, and bring in the kingdom, man. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rukakwadash, Shalom.